Our new story begins in a forest where the trees are as bony and twisted as an old woman's finger. Pitch black mold and moss spread across the ground, while a strangely murky sky hangs above the land. It is a place teeming with bizarre monsters that would never exist in reality. One creature, resembling an alien predator, holds a man's head in its jaws as it prepares to bite. The man struggles desperately, grabbing the monster's head, but the creature forces itself forward and eventually bites through his skull. That man is Woojin, the main character of this story. Whenever he dies in that place, he wakes up from the dream. He wakes up drenched in sweat, clutching his neck. For 12 years, he has endured the pain of dying as if it were real. "That damn dream again," he mutters. Woojin lives in the city, and whenever he encounters monsters in his dream, he writes down their weaknesses and the easiest ways to defeat them. He can endure the pain of dying, but what hurts more is sleep itself. He is exhausted from constant lack of sleep. If he falls asleep in reality, he is sent back to that nightmare world, where he must fight monsters. If he dies in the nightmare world, he returns to reality. Because of this cycle, there is no way for him to get a proper night's sleep. To stop dying in that hellish dream, Woojin spent the last 12 years doing everything he could to prepare. He studied weaponry, martial arts, swordsmanship, jungle survival, and military tactics. Because of this effort, he slowly began dying less often in his nightmares. However, the biggest problem remained sleep. He even consulted a doctor, but the only advice he received was to find something he truly wanted to do, so he might finally sleep well. That advice was not helpful at all. When he thought about what he truly wanted, he looked at the records he had carefully stored on his bookshelf. At that moment, he already knew that the only thing he truly wanted was simply to fall asleep. As he thought about wanting to sleep soundly, even just once, blood suddenly began dripping from his nose. An unimaginable dizziness overwhelmed him. His vision darkened, his consciousness faded, and he eventually collapsed on the floor after losing too much blood. That was how he died. Suddenly, his body felt light, and the terrible headache he had endured for 12 years completely disappeared. For the first time in years, it felt like fresh, clean air was filling his chest and head. He felt as if he had finally slept properly, something he had never experienced during those 12 long years. He wondered if he had truly died. When Woojin opened his eyes, he discovered that he was sitting under a large tree. It was the same nightmare world where he had suffered for 12 years. Soon, he noticed something approaching. A giant lizard-like monster with a long tongue and multiple eyes moved nearby, forcing him to hide quickly. Considering the amount of blood he lost, he believed he might truly be dead. If that was the case, then dying in this nightmare world would mean there was no reality left to return to. Accepting this possibility, he decided that this place was now his new reality. As the monster searched the area for prey, Woojin understood exactly what kind of world this was and what he needed to do to survive. In this situation, he should normally run toward a bright place that monsters hate. But for some reason, he unsheathed his sword and jumped forward to face the monster instead. He did not want to run away. Perhaps it was because he had finally slept deeply for the first time in years, or maybe because his new body felt younger than his real one. The monster rushed toward him, opening its mouth to devour him. Woojin's entire body screamed at him to fight and survive. In a single swift movement, he slashed his sword and cut the monster clean in half. The creature collapsed to the ground. He had successfully hunted it. Woojin then dismantled part of the monster and discovered a blue core inside. Without hesitation, he picked it up and began eating it. As he gazed into the dark sky with red eyes and monster blood still in his mouth, he made a promise to himself that he would survive in this dark fantasy world no matter what. His first step would be to travel toward a brighter place.